Hi everyone, today I'm here with Dr. Melanie Goldfarb.
Hi Lauren, thanks for having me.
Dr. Melanie Goldfarb is the Associate Professor for Surgery and Director at the Center for Endocrine Tumors and Disorders, part of John Wayne Cancer Institute at Providence St. John's. So let's start off with an interesting statistic. According to the National Cancer Institute, about 70,000 young people are diagnosed with cancer each year, and the numbers continue to grow. How does that sound to you, Dr. Goldfarb? Is that surprising? Is this what you've seen in the field?
Yeah, so that's a really well-known statistic that has been like that for 10 years, and as you said, the numbers are slowly increasing. So it's a really important area that we're only finally starting to delve into.
Yeah, it's surprising to me because I think of pediatric cancer, but what is young adult cancer?
So young adult cancer, according to the National Cancer Institute, is anybody that gets cancer from the ages of 15 to 39. Now, there are programs out there that maybe look at 15 to 25 or 25 to 45, so it's a little bit fluid, but the technical definition is 15 to 39.
So how does cancer differ for those 15 to 39-year-olds versus regular adult cancer and even older adults?
So I think that's a really great question, and half of my answer is we don't know. We have a lot to learn, and that has to do with the biological stuff. So we tend to think that there is some biological difference between if you get cancer as a kid versus kind of our young adult versus older. We're still doing research to look into that. But something that we do know and that's very obvious is the psychosocial stuff and the whole what it means to get cancer and what's happening in your life when you're a young adult versus if you're younger or older. So how you and the people around you sort of go through the cancer experience and beyond is very different. And that's what a lot of young adult cancer programs focus on.
That's really interesting. I guess you'd be in a different frame of mind if you're just graduating college or getting to senior year in high school and you're diagnosed with cancer versus being maybe in your 70s and having had a full life. It might feel very different to you.
You hit it on the nose. And so resources that typically weren't thought of that are needed for cancer patients, fertility for both men and women in that age group, how do I get through or pay for grad school or college, or hey, I have a newborn at home and another 3-year-old, and how do I go get chemo at the same time? It's very different than those, and so cancer programs used to never have those resources, and so only now are we really building them in because we know that all these young adults need them.
Wow, such a different field and a really interconnected one. So I guess I'll ask you, for young adults, are there certain kinds of cancer that are more prevalent?
Yes, there actually are. So the top young adult cancers for women especially are thyroid and breast. And then we also talk about melanoma. For men, testicular cancer is way up there. Thyroid's a little lower down. Lymphoma, brain cancer, colorectal is creeping up there to eventually, I think, probably hit the top 5 soon. But those are the ones that we generally talk about.
Interesting. I think a lot of young adults may identify with the idea of kind of feeling immune. You're young and you're healthy and you bounce back the next day after a long night out. So we might not be so prepared to talk with our doctor when we get a cancer diagnosis. Are there any questions we should have in mind or we should know to talk to our practitioners about?
So I think you make a very valid point, and that's some reasons why some people think that some young adults present at later stages because they're immune. They don't go to the doctor. They don't get checkups. But I think the questions that they need to ask are similar to questions an older person needs to ask, with the addition of fertility. If that is any of my treatment going to impact my fertility? How long do I need to be out of work? How long do I need to be out for school? Are there any supports or buddy systems that I can talk to people my age or that my partner or my parents or my kids can talk to that are going through this? So I think it's also really important to connect with people your age who have gone or are going through similar things.
Gets back to that first thing that we were talking about, how you may be more socially interconnected and kind of have a need it for different social services if you have cancer at that time. Okay, great. So you talked about, guiding us to resources and people who have sort of been in the same stage. Are there any specific websites or organizations you would guide patients to?
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of them out there. A name that a lot of people have heard of is Live Strong, which is now sort of morphed into Critical Mass, which is an organization that is really, from a policy standpoint, promoting young adult cancer treatment awareness and stuff up on Capitol Hill. There's also an organization called Teen Cancer America, which is a little bit geared towards the younger people, 15 to 25. There's an organization called Stupid Cancer out there. There's so many, so I feel really bad leaving some of them out. But on both our website as well as some of the other programs that do young adult cancer, there's a list of all of them.
Perfect. We'll go ahead and share a link to the John Wayne Cancer website with everyone so they can reach those. And thank you again, Dr. Goldfarb, for your time and your expertise.
My pleasure.